What's up, guys? It's Benny. We're preparing to go to the White House right now, which is still smoldering from Karoline Leavitt just torching an NBC News reporter. This is in fashion right now at the White House. Trump doing it in the Oval yesterday, and then Karoline Leavitt. Same topic too. Donald Trump changed the fabric of the world by calling out the genocide of white farmers in South Africa yesterday. The president of South Africa sitting there very uncomfortable. We all saw it. And we all saw how the African delegation hung their heads in shame because Donald Trump was calling them out. This is, by the way, the reason the media continues to scream and shriek about this is because it's their plan for this country and every country to use racial oppression to seize power, take control, and to create classes that they can control. This is the Marxist tautology. It's why they're resorting to violence. This is the way it always goes. You're starting to see that pop up. James Comey calling for the assassination of Donald Trump. It's just one example of these people wishing to impose Marxism like they've done in South Africa. South Africa is the destination. It's what they want to get to. That's how you oppress your society. Anyway, this is the left's new religion, and they're using the last bits of energy they have in the power of the press inside of the White House to try and push this agenda. Now, Donald Trump called out NBC yesterday and torched him. And Karoline Leavitt did an amazing job, and you got chills watching this, for this reporter named Yamiche Alcindor. It's a real name, apparently. And she asked this question. She's NBC's White House correspondent. Watch Karoline Leavitt cook.
Thanks for taking my question.
Sure.
The president showed a video that he said showed more than 1,000 burial sites of white South Africans that he said were murdered. We know that that was not true and that the video wasn't showing that. So I wonder, why did the president choose to show that?
What's not true, Yamiche?
It's not true that the video was showing a burial site. It is unsubstantiated that that's the case.
No, it is true that that video showed the crosses that represent.
Which is what the president claimed.
The video showed images of crosses in South Africa about white farmers who have been killed and politically persecuted because of the color of their skin. And those crosses are representing their lives. Those crosses are representing their lives in the fact that they are now dead and their government did nothing about it. Are you disputing that there's no...
The fact that the video showed what the president claimed it showed, because it did not show that. But even more, what I'm asking you is who at the White House...
No, it did show that. It showed white crosses representing people who have perished because of racial persecution.
Verifies the videos that the president shows, and what protocols are in place when there's unsubstantiated information being put out for the world and world leaders to show?
Yamiche, what's unsubstantiated about the video? The video shows crosses that represent the dead bodies of people who were racially persecuted by their government. In fact, the Associated Press, of all places, has a picture of that very monument, and the caption from the Associated Press is, "Each cross marks a white farmer who has been killed in a farm murder." So it is substantiated, not just by that video and the physical evidence that everybody saw on display in the Oval Office, but also by another outlet in this room, the Associated Press. So you should take it up with them if you believe the claim is unsubstantiated, and that's a ridiculous line of questioning. John, go ahead. Go ahead.
Could you imagine being so, flippant? Could you imagine being so just, prima facie evil? Where you're like, oh, yeah, it's targeted racialized killings. It's literally systemic racism, right? Something that we've been talking about nonstop until it applies to white people. And that's the thing. They can't let it go. If they acknowledge that white people are a victim group here, their entire new religion goes up in flames. Their pagan ethos suddenly evaporates. And they can't, their minds will break. They can't process this, that there may be a victim group that is white people. And so that's why they're shrieking from the top of their lungs about this. Way to go, Karoline Leavitt, bodying this. Yamiche Alcindor, again, I can't believe that's a real name. Somehow it is. This was what PBS, she used to work for PBS. Just remind, this is what the press is putting up. These are the headlines the press is putting up. Yes, white farmers have been killed, but only a couple percentages of them. That's what they said. This is a real tweet from PBS. This is taxpayer-funded PBS. Last place that hired that reporter. Yes, white farmers have been killed, but only a few percent of all killings are white farmers in South Africa. Okay. Well, there's only 44,000 white farmers in South Africa. So that's less than 0.006% of the population. So yes, this constitutes a genocide. Yes, this constitutes a significant portion of the population that is being systemically racist and targeted against by the government there in South Africa. So amazing things are happening. President Trump changing the world. Karoline Leavitt going on a rampage. Just one other Karoline Leavitt clip from this. It's her with the Biden Autopen. It's unbelievable. Check this out.
The president can declassify anything that he wants. Has he looked to see if there are any records here that would contradict what we've been told about Joe Biden's decline?
He has not directed anyone, to my knowledge, to look into that, but surely I can ask him if he intends to. I think the president has spoken on this pretty extensively, and I have spoken about it extensively from this podium as well, how it was truly one of the worst political scandals this country has ever seen, that the previous administration covered up the decline in the former president's mental and physical ability. And it's now all coming out, but the American people knew the truth, and that's one of the many reasons why President Trump won the election on November 5th.
And President Trump says that he basically thinks unelected Biden staffers concealed his decline so that they could use the levers of power for their own personal gain.
Well, look, that's not just the president thinking that, Peter. There's a new book out. I don't know if any of you have heard about it. Again, a little bit too late, because the American people knew the truth on this from the very beginning. And there were reporters in this room, including some from your network, Peter, I'll give you a little bit of credit here, who have said that clearly Joe Biden's staffers were engaging in this cover-up. So this is common sense. This isn't the president making it up. These are facts that are now finally being revealed.
Right, and I'm not saying the president's making it up, but he specifically talks about the Autopen. He thinks that staffers were using this Autopen. Mm-hmm. Is there some kind of like a badge that you have to swipe to use an Autopen? Is there a record of that?
I can tell you here at this White House, the president signs any document that has legal implications. The president signs every executive order. He signs every proclamation. He signs pretty much every document that is needed for the president's signature, with the exception of maybe some letters to children. From what we have heard and seen, that was not the case in the previous administration, and the president is raising good questions that are worth looking into.
We're very proud to be contributing to that reporting. In fact, it's our show that led the way on the clip of, like, hey, are these people getting pardons? Are these people clearly getting paid for pardons? Anyway, this is an amazing time to be alive. President Trump, because I'll look for every opportunity to play it. Here's President Trump calling out the leader of South Africa in the Oval Office live. Turn the lights down. I got something to show you.
Mr. President, this time, what would it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the president. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our president will respond to you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on around the quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But, Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories, and that. Is Natalie here, somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you. Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. Whatever you want to do, can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament. Honorable. Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Gaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Pa, 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 pa. To kill Gaza. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
The man of D-Day in PE is a white man. So these people, when you want to hit them hard, go after a white man. They feel a terrible pain because you have touched a white man. Not because Mashaba and Suri will not be touched. They will be touched, no one. But we are starting with this whiteness. We are cutting the throat of whiteness.
Shoot to kill Yamasa. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Pa, pa, pa. Shoot to kill Yamasa. Kill the brewer, the farmer. Kill the brewer, the farmer.
I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I'm saying to you, was not called for the killing of white people, at least for now. I can't ever see the future.
Yeah, but, I mean, do you understand somebody watching that, especially as it gets shared on Twitter? They freak out. It sounds like a genocidal.
I can't take it.
Who will expropriate land without compensation, whether they like it or not. If they object, they can seek refugee in America.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who's killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. Okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa.
We need to find out.